Hello, amazing human, and welcome to Neurodivergent Bites, a podcast for neurodivergent entrepreneurs to understand systems, change the narrative about productivity, and embrace yourself for who you really freaking are. If your energy is being sucked, you're struggling to focus, or you know you need systems, but there's a disconnect for whatever reason, join your host, that's me, Karalee, along with fellow amazing humans on how being a neurodivergent entrepreneur has impacted the way they do life and business. If you're looking for bite-sized action steps, you're in the right place. Hello, amazing humans. Welcome back to Neurodivergent Bites. I am your host, Karalee, and today we're going to be talking about processes. And we're going to jump right into this and go ahead and look at the actual definition of a process. Literally straight from Google here, we have a process, which is a noun here, a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. Okay, so it's literally just steps. It's a process like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, How do you stick to these processes that you've created in your life and in your business? Okay, so that is the question that I got asked. How do I stick to the processes? Okay. How do you stick to doing things in the order that they should be done in, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, instead of doing them 1, 4, 5, 6, because we like to throw random things in there, and going back to 3, those types of things. How do we do them in order? Okay, so this is what I think is this person is really asking. How can I make processes, right? These boring, mundane things, how can I make them exciting? They're boring. I want to switch them up because they're boring. They're not fun, right? So really what I believe this person was asking me is, how do I make these processes fun? Well, you're in the right place if that was actually your question, because I'm going to talk to you today about how to make processes fun. Okay? So for one, you have to have your baseline, your foundation of how in the world you even do this thing. What are the actions and steps that go into this process? Okay? So for the sake of this episode, we're going to talk about the process of creating a reel. Okay? We're going to talk about the process of creating a reel. Now, are there different ways that you can do this? Yes. Why? Because of different software, different types of reels, different ways that you're going to store them or schedule them or post them, right? There are different steps to this process. So what we need is how do you want to do this process? How do you want to record this reel? How do you want to store this reel? Okay? A lot of times we're actually sticking to processes that don't serve us. And so that's what also makes us not want to follow them, because we're like, oh, well, if I have to do it this way, then no. And then we have pushback, right? In our own minds, in our own bodies, but sometimes, right? So I want you to do this as an exercise for a process that you are struggling to either follow or you want to put into place. I need you to go, how do I do this? Write it, just start writing it down. You can number it. You can just brain dump it, throw it all on a piece of paper, and we can make sense of it later. All right. So that's what you have to have. You have to have a starting point. So for a process for a reel, you can't edit it before you record it, right? So there are some times where you're like, things have to go in certain steps, but there are some that can be interchangeable. For example, 3 and 4 might be able to be interchangeable depending on X, Y, Z, right? So let's say, you have to have the idea for the reel first, right? Whether that's finding trending audio, whether that's just educational. So you're just, writing up a script or something. So you have to have the material before you can even record it. So then you're going to record it. What does that look like? Are you using your computer? Are you using your phone? Are you going to a certain place? Where are you recording this? Then you have to actually record it, right? Then you edit it if you need to edit it. Sometimes you don't need to edit things. I edit almost everything though, because the magic is in the editing, is what I always say. Not because I don't want to be real, but because it makes it short and sweet is why I edit things, right? Then after you edit it, then you have to decide, do I need to put any more captions on it, or put any captions, words, audio, any more audio, what else do I need to put in there? Now after I'm done doing that part of the process, now am I scheduling it to post? Am I posting it on a certain day? Am I just storing it for later? there are so many different steps in processes that I can see how you're like, oh my gosh, like it's all over the place. All right, now before I confuse you some more or overwhelm you, I just took you through a process of creating a reel. Now you can make it super simple. Get content or write script, right? Film, edit, post. Okay, make it simple. And then you can break it down some more like I just did when I explained this to you. Right? So see what steps are interchangeable and see what steps aren't. And to help your brain follow the process, you need to write it out in a way that you understand that certain steps can be interchangeable. Like I'm picturing in my brain as I'm explaining this, since this is a podcast after all, not a video podcast, is that like I have step 1 and then like steps 2 and 3 are interchangeable. So like they're on top of each other. Right? Like in this timeline, but they're on top of each other. You know what I mean? Like, so something like that, like write it out like that if you're a visual person for sure, or like, indent it, tab it, if you're writing it out on a document, things like that. So make it to where it can be flexible so that way you can switch it up every once in a while and you're not like thinking that you're not following the process, right? Now, how do we make this fun? Okay, because that was definitely a thing that I definitely wanted to address. How do we make it fun? Okay, you come up in the example of the reel, you come up with things that you want to record, you want to have fun with. Okay, now there might be some other processes that you have to do in your business or in your life that you're like, I don't even, like, none of this is fun. See if you even have to do it. Okay, see if you can tweak it to make it more fun. See if you can reward yourself in the end. See if you can switch it up a little bit or outsource it or something like that. Okay, create fun from it. Okay, create fun with it. I used to hate reels, hate social media, and now I have fun with it because I make it work for me. I only put in things that I find fun. Just like this podcast. I started this podcast because I wanted to reach more people, but because I was like, I would rather do a podcast than a video like platform. Now I do have a YouTube channel. You can go check out my YouTube channel if you want some more hands-on things, but like, I wanted it to be diversified because it was fun. And I can talk about whatever I want on this podcast. So this is like my creative outlet, a part of my marketing process, okay? My marketing system, things like that. So you just have to make it work for you. And so many people are like, I don't know what that means. I don't know how to do that. And that's where I can come in, okay? I have such a systems-oriented, like problem-solving, let's make it fun, make it work for your brain sort of like take on life that you could literally bring this thing that you're like, I need to make this more fun. I need to like actually want to do this. And I can make it fun for you. Like I actually have fun doing my books now, like my business books. Now, am I currently avoiding them? Yes, but we're not going to talk about that. But that's like #real life right there. But I still have fun when I actually go in there. I just have to get myself started on that one. So sticking to processes is all about your mindset and how much fun you can have with it. Okay, our minds are very powerful. So when you sit down and you're like, okay, I can switch these little parts up and I can decide if I want to do this one or this one first. And I'm going to also get a cupcake when I'm done. And you can tell I want a cupcake. I have cupcakes upstairs. We need to just make it fun. Okay? And if you were like, I just need someone to sit down, like I don't even know what processes I need or systems I need, or like I don't even know how to document this stuff. I don't know how, okay? Just I don't know. That is totally an okay thought. All right? I witness you in this because this used to be me at one point in time, and so I feel this on a very deep level. And so if you're like, I don't know. I don't know. Then we need to chat, okay? There are a few ways that we can chat, okay? There are a few ways that we can work together. And so go ahead and just like head to the show notes, look at some of those options. What would really be game changer for you though is going to be a VIP week. And that's because it's literally set up as a process for your brain to be able to get the most effective support that you can when it comes to implementing processes and systems and making sense of how you're going to run your business and life, right? So that you can get your desired outcome, okay? For the record, processes are parts of systems, right? Systems is the big umbrella. Then we have processes. Then we've got steps and, and things like that. It's kind of like the hierarchy of in the systems world here, okay? So if you have any questions, I want you to follow me on the social media platforms. You can find those below as well. Reach out to me in the DMs. Just get a vibe. Like, let's chat. Let's see what would work best for you. Let's get you the support you need to really be able to stick to these things. There are so many things here. I am an accountability coach for a reason. Okay, we get the systems in place, and then we actually use the accountability to actually ensure that you're actually using them in the way that they are supposed to be used. And if they're not working, then we freaking do something about it. We don't just say like your brain is messed up or something. Like, no, the systems are supposed to work for your brain, not the other way around. And if they're not working, that means we have to refine them. So yeah, that's what we do in a VIP week, and pretty much any time you work with me, like, we make massive change and up-level things, because we're going to make sure that things are working for your brain and that things are feeling good and in alignment to you. All right, that's all for today. This was a longer episode, but I feel really good about it. So if you haven't subscribed yet, totally subscribe. Leave me a review if you're feeling called to. But either way, I'm going to drop one new episode every single freaking week that's going to support you in this systems world and in your business, things like that, okay? So I hope to see you next time. Head to the show notes and see what sticks out to you. I would love to hear from you. Bye for now. Before I wrap up today's episode, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey to empower neurodivergent entrepreneurs. I hope that you've gained valuable insights and a fresh perspective on productivity and self-acceptance. No matter where you are in your entrepreneurial journey, I'm here to support you. These transformative conversations will equip you with bite-sized action steps that you can apply immediately. Let's redefine productivity on our own terms and create a business that aligns with who we truly are. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast to receive the latest episodes and join our amazing community of neurodivergent humans. Remember, being unique is our superpower, and together we can rewrite the rules of success.